Well, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, September 30th. In the yeah, already September 30th in the year 2025. And welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with Tom. The month of September is where TWT began 5 years and 257 shows ago. During the month of September, we take a little bit of our time to commemorate TWT's beginning, and we try and thank all of you who have combined to make it possible. 5 years ago, we thought we may be able to put a quality show together, and 5 years later, here we are. I'd like to give thanks to each of the team members, starting with our backbone, Emily Hedrick and Sean Jones. They're our backbone. They do the work that no one sees. They take all the individual ingredients and mix them up and come out with an hourly show that works week in and week out. Michael and Barbara, they take the ingredients, the pieces of the ingredients of the show and present it in a fashion that represents all of us well. It makes TWT work. Thanks to Joyce, she fills in the holes and does it seamlessly and has always reminded me of what I need to do. And we would not still be here if not for you, our audience. Thank you, and also our guests. We appreciate you for being with us week in and week out. Thank you very, very much. Our G-List guest for today is Dr. Maria Shirey, Dean and Fabian Ireland Endowed Chair in Nursing at the University of Alabama in Birmingham, UAB School of Nursing. She serves as the school's fifth dean in its 75-year history, and as the school's chief nurse administrator, she is the senior executive responsible for the school's mission of academics, research, and service. So we look forward to having that conversation today. Our show today, of course, is brought to you by the consulting firm of Best Girl Inc. So let's hear from Best Girl.
Best Girl is a consulting firm that provides customized leadership, access and inclusion, public relations, communications, and organizational consulting services. Clients include Fortune 500 companies, utilities, higher education institutions, small businesses, and associations. Best Girl's team of consultants, led by Joyce Gilly-Gossam, Emily Hedrick, and Sean Jones, partners with business and education clients to promote organizational effectiveness, communication, motivation, and leadership, with always an impact on the bottom line. Best Girl's customized consulting services include strategic planning, corporate communication, executive coaching, fundraising, and economic development.
Girl continues to customize the solution that fits your needs. So let's go to our roundtable discussion this morning and talk to Barbara Wallace Edwards and Michael Walker. Good morning, Barbara Wallace Edwards and Michael Walker. How are we doing this morning?
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. Doing well. Good morning, TG. Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning,
All right.
gentlemen.
So, Barbara, how are you this morning? We have a Birmingham guest, and you're living in Birmingham, and we don't generally have, well, we do have guests from Birmingham. I know it always kind of gets you all a little bit excited when we have a
It
Birmingham
does.
guest.
It does. It's nice to have some home folks on the show. So I'm excited that we have Dr. Shirey with us this morning.
What's going on in your world?
Well, Tom and Michael, I don't know if you guys remember Sean Alexander, who played football at Alabama, legendary running back there, and went on to play for the Seattle Seahawks and
Yeah.
NFL MVP. Well, Sean was on this talk show last week, and he announced that he and his wife were expecting their 14th child.
I'm in it.
14th.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you heard me correctly. 14th child. He said they currently have 10 boys and 3 girls, and they don't know the sex of the new baby yet, but they're excited. So I'm excited for them and wish them congratulations.
Were they adopted, any of them, or?
No, sir. They were not any adopted. I looked it up because I thought surely maybe some multiple births or something. According to what the research I've been able to find, they were all single birth children, and none were adopted. They are their birth children. So hats off to them. You know, people were commenting all through the comment section in this article I read saying, you know, they must not have TV. Somebody need to give them a TV for their next Christmas present or something, because they don't have anything else to do. But yeah, Sean is 48 years old. And I sort of kept up with his career throughout, his time in the NFL. He actually was in school when two of my nieces were in school at Alabama. And I think I don't know if he actually dated one of them, but he was interested in dating one of them at one time. So she and I were teasing the other day.
She dodged a bullet.
I said, yeah, you dodged a bullet, baby. I help and go and help babysit and, get the kids back and forth the way they need to go a lot of times with my nieces and nephews. I said, but if you had 14, I'm not so sure I show up all the time, but I'm happy for he and his wife. That's a lot. Yeah, somebody said maybe he shouldn't have 22. He wants a defense and an offense he can put on the field at the same time.
Well, he's got a basketball team and subs.
Yeah,
God,
that's a lot. I
baseball.
mean, man, in this day and age, you just don't see that very often. But
Well, you don't see. I don't mean this the wrong way, whatever. But a lot of women just ain't gonna do that.
That's so true. That is so true.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So hats off to his wife. I think her name is Valerie.
For
but
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is. But
That's
I'm sure he can afford it. He had a great career, and I understand he managed his money very well. So money's not the issue for them. So I guess, just God said multiply, and he and his wife are doing that.
Okay. Well, Michael, can you top that?
Well, I don't have that many flyers and what have you, but I do have something that's quite interesting. There's a lot of talk about rights and people's civil rights and all that stuff that's going on. Just imagine going on vacation and coming back to your home, and you go into your bathroom to take a shower, and you notice something strange. And when you get in there and you look over there where you normally keep your little soap in the soap dish, and there's a nest there, a pigeon nest.
Wow.
2 baby chicks and 2 parents in your bathroom in the soap dish, and they built a nest.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
now what do? So this person, a young lady, I think her name was Marlene Blank. She, you know how women are. She made sure they were all comfy and stuff, and gave them food and what have you. And she decided to call the wildlife organization to ask for some help and some support. She had this pigeon nest in her bathroom, and would they come and remove it, take care of it? And they informed her that it was illegal to move a pigeon nest in Germany. Yes, that they are protected species, and you cannot disturb or move their nest, so they would not be coming.
Wow.
A regular pigeon nest. Just
Yes.
a regular pigeon is endangered or whatever. Okay.
Yes. And it's illegal to disturb or move the nest. So she had to hang in there and nurse them until they were ready to fly away.
You get them at the house.
Wow.
And so she went to her boyfriend's place to take a shower because they were right there in the shower dish in the shower area.
How they got in?
Yeah, she said I think she left a window that was cracked, and they flew in, and there you go.
They found
said,
them
hey.
a quiet spot, I guess.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did she say how long they stayed, Michael?
No, it didn't say. It just kind of went through the article, and then she was talking about how emotional she was when it came time for them to fly away.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, what do you do? What do you say?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get them out of my house.
Exactly. I don't know if you guys remember. I think it was last year. I had this bird in my house that was driving me crazy for a couple of hours, and I don't know how she dealt with that because
Hey, Michael, you know our friend Manuel.
Yeah.
Manuel called me one time. He had a squirrel in his house. He said, "I got a squirrel in my house. What do I do?" I said, "Well, open the door and hope he runs out."
Oh,
And that's what he did. He opened the front door and the back door.
And it finally went
The
out.
squirrel ran out.
That was nerve-wracking for me. You know, I opened my front door and a bird was building a nest in the wreath on my front door, which I rarely go out of my front door anyway. And I'm out. I opened the door because someone's at the door, and I'm thinking something. I thought something just flew past me, but surely not. Because of course I didn't know the bird was in the nest in the wreath. And sure enough, I'm back in the house, and a few minutes later, I heard this noise. And I'm thinking, now nobody lives here but me. There shouldn't be anything else going on. And finally, something flew over my head, and I'm thinking, that's a darn bird. Yeah, so It took me a couple hours, but I was able to get it out.
Okay. Michael, you got anything else?
I do. You know how we have the problem with people on earth or in the world hunger and the poor and all of this. Could you just imagine if there was a way that everybody on earth could have all the money they need? As a matter of fact, there's a possibility that there's a treasure chest bigger than anything on earth. NASA is taking a look at it. It's called 16 Psychic. It's a massive asteroid that is between Mars and Jupiter and is rumored to be worth trillions of dollars worth of precious metals. As a matter of fact, they're talking about it. The bounty could be worth $700 quintillion, and a lot of it is gold reserves in it. And so they've been looking at it. They've been checking it out since 2019 and trying to figure out how to get control of it, see what they can do with it. But they're saying that it's so much, it would be worth more money than humanity has ever seen before, ever even thought of. And the problem, there's good and bad. The bad part about it is if they were able to mine this and bring it in, it'd be so much that it could upset the world economic system, because that much put into the system would just drive the prices down, and then all the value will go away.
Right, yeah. Wow.
So they're trying to figure out what do they do with it, and it's all kind of stuff. And it's not just gold. There's platinum there, all kinds of stuff that's in there. Now, if we could somehow harness that for the good of mankind, that would be great. But somebody's going to be greedy and try to somebody like Elon Musk or Bezos will be trying to go up there and get it all.
They're gonna try. You better believe it.
Okay. Couple of things. I guess in my world, we're Anthony Tedeschi, who is one of our regulars on the show, said he received his book that we sent him on the new book, Just Follow Me, the book about James Owens. He said he's loving it. He received it yesterday. So good, Anthony. We are scheduled to have a book signing in Birmingham on October the 10th, Barbara.
Okay.
I'll let you know, and hopefully you can fill the place up with Birmingham people. And we were scheduled to have one at Auburn at the College of Liberal Arts on November the 5th, but there's a conflict. And I haven't talked to them yet. They sent me a note yesterday saying there was a conflict. So we're going to have to reschedule that one. Probably would be in the next semester. If any of you or your book club or whatever is interested in having a book signing, get in touch with us at Emily@bestgirl.com or Sean@bestgirl.com. And we'll make arrangements to bring the book signing show to you. We'll have a lot of fun with it.
Awesome.
So let's go to Sean. I think she's got a minute for us. We'll come back and do our Geek G List guest. Sean, you out there somewhere? Can you come on and do a...
Good morning to everyone joining in with us. My name is Shantia Jones, and this is Got a Minute. Did I tell you all I was learning Spanish? No? Sorry. Did I also forget to tell you that I've been celebrating the National Hispanic Heritage Month since September 15th and will continue until October 15th? No? Now I am. National Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated annually in the U.S. to honor the histories, cultures, and contributions of Hispanic Americans whose heritage originates from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central, and South America. The month was established to acknowledge the immense achievements of the community, recognize historical legacies, and celebrate the diverse cultures, languages, and traditions that enrich the United States. The dates were specifically chosen to coincide with the independence days of several Latin American countries such as Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. The timing also allows for the inclusion of Mexico's Independence Day on September 16th and Chile's on September 18th, which occurs soon after the start of the month. It also includes Columbus Day and Dia de la Raza, also known as Day of the Race. Happy National Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you all for joining in. My name is Shantia Jones, and this has Got a Minute.
I've got one more thing. Yesterday I saw where the president said that he's going to put 100% tariff on any movies shot outside of the United States.
I saw that.
I don't know how that's going to work. I don't think it's going to work.
No.
Movies are an international business.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's shot in Georgia or if it's shot in Paris. It depends on the scenes. It depends on a lot of things. I don't think that's going to fly. But, the president announces these big tariffs and pretty soon he backs down and we move into something else. So we'll see if this one flies, but I don't think that it will.
What does Michael call him? Okie dokie chief? He's coming up with all kinds of crazy tariffs. And like you said, Tom, most of them don't stick. Because those that
I mean, he started out with this big thing on China, and now you don't hear anything about it.
Right.
Again, I think this is a diversion thing.
It is.
What do we? The okie doke again.
Yeah.
Just don't look over here. Nothing's happening over here.
That's what he's hoping for.
Yeah.
And we still say release the Epstein files.
I don't see how that works. We shoot. A lot of movies are shot in Vancouver.
Yes.
A lot of people they hire a lot of people from out of California and so on and so forth. That just doesn't make any sense.
And it's digital. How do you control that? It's not like things are coming across the border. It doesn't make any sense at all, Tom.
Yeah. Well, he announces it, so we'll let JD Vance explain it.
Speaking of that, I just heard this morning that this lady that has an acting background has developed an AI actor, and it's a female AI generated actress, and says it's going to be the next Scarlett Johansson and stuff. And have you heard about that?
No, I haven't, but AI is a big deal.
Yeah, and there's a lot of actors and actresses out in Hollywood that are boycotting because some of the producers and stuff are looking at signing this AI generated actress and stuff.
Well, the producers will do whatever they can do to make some money. I know that the union is against it. I know that there is a lot of people lining up against it. I'm not for it. But things continue to change and evolve, and we'll just have to see where it goes. You know, the last AI was addressed in the last contract, and so we'll see where it goes. I giggled because there was a thing on yesterday with the Secretary of Education. This is somebody who doesn't have a lot of education.
Right.
He is now the Secretary of Education, and she was talking about AI, but she kept calling it A1.
A1 steak sauce.
Yeah, right.
Wow. So in the little video, they were making fun of it. So they had the students coming to school, and they were all given bottles of A1.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is hilarious.
You gotta have some standards for who you're gonna hire, man. Who you gonna put in these jobs? You know,
Okie Chief has no standards other than they're loyal to him. That's the only standard.
They all got a bottle of A1.
That's the funniest thing I've heard since Dan Quayle couldn't spell potato.
Anyway, let's move on.
Before we move on, can I mention one other thing to you guys?
Sure.
You know, we've been talking about politics a lot and people throwing their name in the hat. Guess who's the latest person to throw their name in the hat as a possible political candidate for Senate from the state of Alabama? Paul Feinbaum.
Oh yeah. God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Announced it yesterday that he's seriously considering a run for the Senate in the state of Alabama.
Well, he moved back to Birmingham. I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's part of the strategy.
Maybe so.
I guess maybe he knocked Bruce out, huh?
Well, I still don't know if Bruce is out. So, you know.
I don't know if Bruce is out either, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I do know that he's going to be. I do know that whenever the president made an announcement about whomever it was that said something about the guy who got shot or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know. It's we'll just have to see where things go.
We will.
As the guy said at the county commission meeting one time, there's a lot of confusement going on in the world. Mr. Gunn.
Yeah, it's more. That's when it's more than confusion, Tom. It's confusion That's the next level. Yeah, that's the next level.
A1 confusion. I mean, there's just 100% tariffs on movies shot out of the country. I don't know how you're going to enforce that. And I don't know how you do actors from the United States get to go work in those movies. And if they're working those movies, are they fined or something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're going to assess the tariff to their paycheck.
He doesn't know either. Yeah.
He doesn't. He makes announcements, but he doesn't go to second base or third base or at home. It's just, well, you know, we're going to do this. And
he don't even know how to get there, Tom. He's lost. He's stuck at the base. It
generally doesn't work. So anyway, let's move on. Hollywood's got the A list, and here on Tuesdays with Tom, we have the G list. Now, G list guest today is Dr. Maria Shirey. She is the dean and the Faby Island Endowed Chair of Nursing at the University of Alabama at Birmingham School of Nursing. She serves as the school's fifth dean in its 75-year history. As the school's chief nurse administrator, she is the senior executive responsible for the school's mission of academics, research, and service. So let's welcome Dean Shirey to the show this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being with us. We appreciate you.
Hi, Barbara
Uh,
and Michael.
Good morning.
Hello, how
Good
are you?
morning. Welcome. Thanks for being with us.
so where are we going to, Barbara, you going to start this morning?
I'll start. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Shirey. And let's talk about the 75th anniversary of the School of Nursing at UAB. That's got to be a major, major celebration. And tell us what you all are doing to celebrate this major accomplishment.
So, yes, indeed, it is a very special and exciting time for us. 75 years is a long time for making a difference in the state. And so we have had a number of activities across the year, but the big highlight is a gala event that we're hosting on October the 11th. And the big focus is not only to celebrate, but also to raise 75 scholarships to help our students. Our students struggle to make it through school, and it is an honor and a privilege to be able to help them. And these scholarships that we raise will do just that.
That
Awesome.
sounds great.
Awesome. Yes, it does.
We're also going to be honoring a number of our graduates who have graduated over the decades and have gone out into the field and made enormous contributions, whether it be educating nurses in the field, whether it is making a difference in our communities in terms of improving health outcomes. And so it'll be an honor to be able to celebrate them.
That is
Sounds
wonderful.
Okay. Is that it for you, Barbara?
Well, not all the questions, of course, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, but
Oh, you
so
want to go to Michael then?
we can, or I
Okay,
can
well,
come on.
Michael, what you
Okay.
got?
Well, good morning, Dr. Shirey. Thanks for being with us. You know, it's interesting. You're celebrating the 75th anniversary, and that means that the average tenure of a dean is about 15 years. So every 15 years, you guys roll over to another dean and stuff.
It,
That's Go
it
ahead.
is indeed. It's a real testament of consistent visionary leadership over the course of 75 years, with each dean really respecting and building on the legacy of the other. And that's what's helped us so much, because we're able to continue to build and to grow and to move forward and to be really vigilant about what our communities need, and really raise the level of our excellence, whether it be how we teach students, the programs that we create, the communities that we serve, and even the research that we design, with the ultimate thought of really how do we impact humanity.
Well, that's great. That's
Awesome.
fantastic. It's too sad that too few organizations implement that type of philosophy of building on their predecessors in order for the better good of the organization. I noticed about your position with the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization. Let me ask you this question. How does the current administration's policies on WHO, because I think the president wanted to withdraw from the World Health Organization and all of this stuff, how does it impact your role and UAB's role in this?
So I would say that as a PAHO WHO designated collaborating center, our work will continue independent of the broader changes, and they will continue because we have a commitment to serve humanity across the globe, whether it is right here at home in Birmingham, we call that our global approach, or whether it is with our partners in the Caribbean and all over the world. Our World Health Organization Collaborating Center is funded through our school, so we do not depend on external funds to support it. So it is work that we're committed to, and we will continue to do it independent of any changes that surround us.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Okay, Barbara?
Yeah, Dr. Shirey, you've been in that role as dean for 4 years, maybe at the university 13 years now. How has things changed over that time period since you have arrived there at UAB?
So I would say that I've been here for 13 years and I've been part of the evolution of this school, and I've contributed with the faculty colleagues that I currently lead as dean. So we're part of a community and we're all committed to really advancing leadership capacity and the things that the school does. In my role as dean, I have taken the excellent work that we had developed over years and basically tried to move it to the next level. And in fact, our strategic plan addresses just that. The title is Boldly Blazing Forward, Elevating Excellence to New Heights. So in other words, taking what we have and going to the next areas of need. Over the last 20 years, our school has had a huge imprint in our communities. We provide care across communities independent of your walk of life or your current economic circumstances. And our focus is on caring for human beings. And we are experts in providing services for very complex, underserved populations. And you'll probably notice that over the past 20 years, our imprint has increased in terms of the various nurse managed clinics that we have in the communities, caring for people who perhaps would have had to use the emergency department because they didn't have health insurance. And so we have clinics to address the chronic disease burden of individuals who perhaps haven't been able to care for themselves because they didn't have access to care. We're really proud of that. And we've made a difference in diabetes, in heart failure, in women and children's care, and so on. You probably heard that we have had a nurse family partnership program for a number of years. And the beauty of that program is that we can provide support for women throughout their pregnancy. And many of these women without this program would not have had prenatal care. And we're able to provide prenatal care and care for them and their children for the first 2 years of life. And that is amazing because we all know that children don't come with instructions.
Right.
You were talking earlier about the family with 14 children who probably have resources and support, but we deal with families of women who don't have that support. Right. And for some, they've not had role models that have taught them how to care for themselves and their children. So we're very proud of that work, and that work is making a difference across the state of Alabama, where we have maternal health outcomes that are among the lowest in the nation. Right. So we're working to improve that.
And thank you for the work you're doing. It's definitely making an impact, I know, in the Birmingham community.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Yes.
Michael?
Dr. Shirey, thank you for your explanation and the detail that you go in with your responses. I wanted to ask you this, and as we look at the current state of healthcare and where we are in this nation with healthcare, we seem to have a system that's built on treating the symptoms and not going to the root cause of the problem. And I think that if we were to kind of maybe reshape that, where we would focus on the root cause instead of the symptoms, we may have better outcomes. What say you on that?
So you're absolutely right. When people come into hospitals and health systems and clinics, they're usually coming to us because they have already experienced the burden of disease and we're seeing those symptoms. But if we could dig deeper and get more into prevention and to address those issues that perhaps cause diseases, then I think we could make a difference. Let's talk about the social determinants of health. So take, for example, children who do not have access to health care. Those children may develop diseases over a lifetime that could have been prevented with maybe healthy eating, healthy weight management, healthy physical environments, and so forth. And, I have a perfect example of that I was so impressed with when I read our UAB reporter this morning. That's an internal news venue. And it talked about how our colleagues at the School of Dentistry with their students ran a health clinic for children. And some of those kids had never had dental care. And we know that healthy dental hygiene prevents illness. And so here are children that our colleagues in dentistry were able to affect. That's the kind of work we need to be doing. And that's the kind of work that our school does, going into communities and really starting early. And we do that work here with our various programs with the Birmingham City Schools, going into schools in middle school, teaching students about health, exposing them to careers in health so they can learn about future career options, but in the same manner, also learn about health for themselves. And by the way, their parents are around and they're watching and they're benefiting as well. So that's an example of going deep into the root causes of illness, and it starts with every one of us, and it needs to happen early.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Shirey,
I can
Joyce, go ahead,
go
Mike.
ahead. Well, I was going to say, while we're here, give us your opinion on vaccines. And all of a sudden, we have a Secretary of Health and Human Services that is trying to diminish the effectiveness of vaccines. And now we're seeing an uprise in measles and what have you. How do you, in your role, how do we combat that when we know what vaccines have done in the subject we were just talking about? And now you have a person that's in a position of authority denigrating vaccines. How do you balance that?
So as a nurse and as a professional and somebody who's been educated as a scientist, I focus on the science, and the data and the science drive my decisions. And so my role as a nurse is to provide the information and make the data known, and families and individuals make a decision in terms of their healthcare. And my role is to provide factual information so that they can make the best decisions for themselves.
Well said.
Yes, definitely.
Dr. Shirey, Joyce is in the chat and she says, good morning.
Good morning, Joyce.
She says, good morning back. So, I don't know why she's not on here, but she can be if she wants to be. So let me just ask you one more thing, and it's kind of along the lines of what Michael's been saying. You know, when the new president took over, he made a lot of declarations, and he took aim at universities and colleges and so on and so forth. And it seems like the universities and colleges all had a different strategy. Some said, okay, we'll just capitulate, do whatever you want us to do. Some of them said, well, we'll try to find some middle ground there and see if we can work with this. And others have said, well, you know, we'll change the name, but we're going to keep doing what we've been doing all along, so to speak. Has there been a major effect on the School of Nursing, and how have you guys dealt with this?
So we've experienced challenges, as have other universities across the nation. I am fortunate to work at a university where our president is a trusted leader, and somebody who sets the tone for the work that we do. And our approach has been to educate the public in general about the value of the contribution that universities like ours make. So take research, for example. Discoveries help all of us. Some of the diseases that currently have treatment today didn't have treatment previously. So we have made remarkable accomplishments, and our role is to communicate what the world could be with and without the influence of our work. And so I'll give you an example. If you take the area of cancer and clinical trials, we have cure for many cancers today because there was science and there were clinical trials that tested different treatments to provide those cures. Here at our university, we are well known for clinical trials and giving individuals with cancer the hope and the opportunity that happens with treatment and the benefit of those clinical trials. If we did not have the resources to fund that science, all of society would lose. And in fact, one of my colleagues, Dr. Barry Sleckman, who leads our O'Neill Cancer Center, did a presentation recently showing the benefits of individuals who experience clinical trials as a standard of care and are disease-free as compared to what would have happened to those individuals had they not had exposure to those trials. And I could tell you that if you see the image of those patients who survived from clinical trials, and then you saw the second image, which is what would the world be without the science that we are producing at our institution, that picture would be empty. That is how powerful the message can be. And so we continue to be a research intensive university where all of us here on campus contribute to discoveries and contribute to improving the lives of Alabamians and beyond. And that is part of our mission, and we will continue to do that.
Sounds good. Michael, Barbara, you got anything else?
Dr. Shirey, I was going to ask you about enrollment. I know enrollment is increasing across the country, but what about the School of Nursing? How has your enrollment grown in the past few years?
So our enrollment has grown dramatically. And so, for example, I'll take the pre-nursing students. We had been holding steady at about 350 some students entering the university a year. And this year we had 500 plus students at our school. We have seen growth across all of our programs. And in fact, we are a large school. We have about 2,600 students in our school that run from the baccalaureate to the doctorate degree. We have a doctorate both in practice, the DNP, and the PhD, which is a nursing research focused program. And we are the only school in the state that has a PhD in nursing program. And if you look across our 2,600 or so students, we graduate approximately 1,000 students a year. And so our numbers are quite good. And we never take that for granted because our role is not only to recruit students, but to prepare them well and ensure that they succeed in our programs. And to that end, we have invested heavily in the support and retention of our students because our nation needs us to graduate nursing students to practice in the field. One common area that most people ask me about is, do the nurses that we graduate go elsewhere? Some of them do, but the majority of the students that we graduate here at the UAB School of Nursing end up in the state of Alabama, providing care for Alabamians.
Awesome. That is awesome.
That is awesome. Okay. I see
Yeah,
you. I see you winding up there, Michael. You got
yeah, I'm
something.
getting it ready. I just wanted to piggyback off of what Barbara said because my question was similar to that, but a little bit different. You know, you hear a lot of reports that we in America, we're facing a shortage of healthcare professionals and healthcare workers, and that is reaching epidemics, especially with the advent of the aging baby boomers and what have you. And then for the first time in history, we are we have more people that are becoming senior citizens than we have new births, or that ratio. So what do you think needs to be done in order for us to get more healthcare professionals? Do we need to diversify the length of time it takes to become a doctor or a PA or something like that? What do you think needs to be done to solve that issue?
So clearly, there is an issue that the entire healthcare workforce is at risk because there are shortages, and the shortages will continue to exist by virtue of some of those population demographics that you talked about. I can speak about nursing, and in nursing, it's a multifactorial thing. First of all, we need to get the students in. The students need to succeed. We have to have the faculty to teach them. We have to have the clinical sites for them to do their rotations. So we need a lot of partnerships to make all of this happen. In addition to that, when our students graduate, they need to work in environments that support and cultivate them. And that's why it's so important for them to have healthy work environments when they graduate so that they can continue to thrive along an entire career. We as a discipline also have an obligation to help develop these nurses. There's a tendency to give resources and support for people early on in their career, but that support has to be there throughout an entire career. And so we all need to have that commitment to give back. And fortunate, there are many of us in nursing who do give back, and that's important. So that's one aspect of this formula. The other thing is that students many times need financial support to make their educational dreams reality. And for some students, it's helping them to understand that first, you can have the dream, and that second, that there are those who can support your dreams through generous donors, through different scholarships and different avenues and opportunities. And so all of those factors really contribute to the ability to really produce the number of nurses that we need to meet the needs of our society. And we think we need to start early because individuals make their decisions about what they want to do in their careers really early. So those middle school students are important, and we can even start earlier with showing the children of the world what opportunities there are in healthcare and how meaningful the work that we do is, and continue to message that, providing immersion experiences and opportunities so that they can not only hear the message, but maybe spend the summer here with us, seeing what we do, get ideas in the community where we might involve them in programs in churches, in different organizations, and have them feel the love.
A holistic approach.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Dean, we have a question in the chat from one of our regulars who says, please speak about the nurse practitioner program if you have that at UAB.
Yes, certainly. We have multiple nurse practitioner tracks here at the school that run across the lifespan. We have neonatal nurse practitioners with little teeny weeny babies. We have pediatric nurse practitioners. We have women's health nurse practitioners, psychiatric nurse practitioners, family nurse practitioner programs. Then we have acute programs, acute geriatric focus programs. And in addition to some of those programs that I've listed across the lifespan, we have other advanced practice programs such as registered nurse anesthetists. Those are not nurse practitioner programs, but they are advanced practice programs. And we also have nurse midwifery program. So lots of options for advanced practice. Our school is a leading school in that area. And in fact, most schools don't have that variety. And we're very pleased to be able to provide that.
All righty.
Dr. Shirey, we talked about the 75th anniversary gala. If people are interested in purchasing tickets or supporting that in any way, how should they reach out to you, or what do they need to do?
So I would encourage them to get on our website, and we have an icon on the website that has the 75th anniversary. And not only does that have information about tickets, but it has a whole spread of news that talks about our evolution over the decades, the history of the school, even a lot of historical pieces of information. What our uniforms looked like back then, what was the life of a student back then. It's kind of a going back in time experience, which is very exciting to see.
That is exciting.
Right. I can imagine 75 years is pretty exciting. We brag on the fact that we've been doing this 5 years.
It is a long time. And I
don't know if we'll get.
Yes, indeed. I tell everyone that we only celebrate our 75th anniversary once. So you might as well enjoy it.
There you go.
Enjoy it.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
And
Okay, does anybody got anything else?
I was just going to say,
Well,
Dr. Shirey, I saw the list of honorees you're honoring for the Lifetime Achievement at your gala, and Dr. Constance Hendricks is on that list, and she was there at Auburn for quite some time. So congratulations to all of those who are being honored.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We're honored to recognize her and all of our other honorees.
That's awesome.
All right.
Dr. Shirey, you mentioned.
Go ahead, Mike.
You mentioned the midwifery program.
Yes.
Let me ask you about that, because that seems to be kind of like maybe a new phenomena going on now with birthing. I've noticed a couple of younger couples now are saying they're going to do the natural childbirth with the pool or something in the house, or they go to some place where the baby is born that way. Could you comment on that? And is that, do you think that's going to be just a fad, or is that here to stay? And what are the pros and cons of that?
So I would say that nurse midwifery has been around for a long time. And in fact, we used to have a nurse midwifery program here 20 years ago and brought it back about 5 years ago. In fact, it was last year that we graduated our first nurse midwifery group of students since the program had been reinstated. So it isn't new. Nurse midwifery has been very prominent in many parts of the United States. Here in Alabama, we're the only school of nursing that has a nurse midwifery program. And the beauty and the benefits of nurse midwives is that they improve maternal child health outcomes. We have a shortage of healthcare professionals, especially in our rural areas, to take care of women in pregnancy and to deliver babies. And in fact, in some counties in our state, we don't have hospitals, and women and their families have to drive 2 and 3 hours to be able to deliver a child. So there is value to having nurse midwives to be part of the healthcare team. In terms of the birthing practice that you talked about, it is an option. And I will tell you, I am not a nurse midwife, so I could not speak to the specific benefits or disadvantages of that type of a birthing experience. But I have many well-qualified nurse midwives here at the school who would love to talk to you about that.
Thank you.
That's great.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? Dean, do you have anything else that we didn't touch on that you want to touch on before we leave you?
Yes, I just simply want to say thank you for inviting me to be part of your program today, and for helping us to spread the word about the leadership of the UAB School of Nursing in really educating individuals to be nurses, to be practitioners in the field, to influence the community with the care that they provide, and with building the science that will provide the evidence for us to make important decisions about our health now and well into the future. So thank you so much, and I hope that you can join us for the 75th anniversary celebration.
We plan on being there. So
Thank you so much.
okay. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it very much.
Have a good day.
All right, you
You
too.
Thank you.
Okay, that was wonderful. That was very educational. My closing comment for today, or as I see it, is I'm going to talk a little bit about Just Follow Me, the James Owens book. It's a story of integration of the Southeastern Conference, and there's some really interesting stories in there. There's some stories that you go, wow. And it's, we just got through talking about the 75-year history of UAB. This is a 50-year history of Auburn athletics, and the man who integrated the football team, James Owens. But it also covers integration of the Southeastern Conference. Kentucky was the first school to sign a black football player, and the guy died in practice, and the stories kind of flow from there. So the book is available at Amazon. It's also available if you want a signed copy. It's available through bestgirl.com or Best Girl, or what is it? Best Girl, Tom at Best Girl. And we'll get you a signed copy. It's in paperback and hard copy, and so far everything is going well, and we look forward to Anthony got his in the mail. I dropped him one in the mail last week, and so we're happy to promote that book, and it's written by myself and Sam Hayes. So that's our show for today. We want to thank the audience. We appreciate you. We want to thank our G-list guest, Dr. Shirey from UAB School of Nursing, Dean of the UAB School of Nursing. Thank our sponsor, Best Girl. Thanks again to the TWT team, Barbara, Sean, Emily, Michael, and Joyce. And thanks to our audience. And that's it for this September the 30th in the year 2025. Remember, a day without a smile is a day wasted. Enjoy yourself. Make every day count. Stay safe. Peace.